back here again, and welcome back to another episode of NRR. And in today's episode, we will be reviewing the 2020 Xfinity 500. It was yesterday, but I had to film the next day, because I had some things to do yesterday. So, yeah, here's the episode right now. So we're going to, review the top 10, rate the race, then we're going to be, looking at the playoff standings, because the Championship 4 is finally set. And, some people are talking about argument about, the playoff format, like the 10 chase versus this playoff format that we've had since 2014. So it's a little weird. I kind of like, this format because I've been used to it, and I've been a NASCAR fan for my 5th year. So I don't know what really the chase 10 format's like. So I'm not really sure. Like, it's mostly about points, but let's just get that from aside. So let's go ahead and review the top 10, because Chase Elliott is the first Chevrolet to go to the Championship 4 since Jimmy Johnson in 2016, and the last time a Chevrolet made the Championship 4, they won the championship. So there's a little something there. But yeah, let's go ahead and review this race. Finishing in first was Chase Elliott. Just, oh my gosh, guys, this was the biggest win for them just ever. Like, let's take a flashback from 2017 when he just got backed into the corner by Denny Hamlin, and then flash forward to 3 years later, he comes to win at Martinsville, and he's advanced into the championship for, like, I feel like that's what they've been missing, like, these past 4 or 5 years, and perform, when they don't have a choice. And, to do that, last night, they couldn't ask for a better night. Like, that is just unreal for them. Like, it's just very unbelievable. Like, they're going to Phoenix with a shot to win a championship and have a beautiful, Napa Chevrolet, headed out there with the shot to win a title. What more could you ask for? Like, Chase Elliott's going to be the youngest driver, chasing a championship this year, because his other 3 competitors are 30 years or older. So that's pretty interesting. Like, I didn't think their car was driving as good there at the end as it was at the beginning, because they won stage 1, but they didn't win stage 2. But those last couple of pit stops made some really good changes, and they had a good pit stop on that last one, and they had a good restart. I wasn't really sure if Elliott was going to win that race. And like I just kept saying, Elliott's not going to win that race, and surprisingly he did, and I'm so happy for him. And that was the difference. Like, everybody, on that team made it possible. Like, it's still unbelievable. Like, I'm just a little bit, I know Elliott, he also said he's a bit of loss for words. So am I. Like, I cannot believe this. Like, if you still think about it, a Chevrolet is going to the Championship 4. I have not seen that since my first season of watching NASCAR. But, like I said, that's the piece they've been missing. Like, I feel like they've had the team to do this. It's just, they just have to go make it happen, and they did it tonight, or last night. So yeah, congratulations to Chase Elliott. He's in the Championship 4, looking to get his first championship, and he only has 10 wins, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, congratulations to Chase Elliott, and he's not really my pick to win the championship, but he's the driver who I want to win the championship. So yeah, congratulations to Chase Elliott in the 19. Finishing in second was Ryan Blaney. They got progressively better. Like, he sped on pit road, before the first stage, and then that really set them back, and good thing they had a lot of time to get back up through the field after that. But, they got the lead there, which was good, but they were riding around, bidding their time. A caution came out, they lost a spot on pit road, lost the lead, lost control of the race. They started 3rd or 4th on the restart, and they got back to 2nd. They were trying to run Truex down, and then a caution came out, they lost a couple more spots on pit road, and they could never get back up there. And by the time they got 2nd, Elliott was, like, completely gone. Like, with just a few laps to go, Elliott was completely gone from Ryan Blaney's sights. Overall, not a bad night for the 12 team. Like, it sucks to finish 2nd there, though, both times this year. Because if you think about it, the Penske guys have finished 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at Martinsville earlier this year, and later, and just last night, they did it again. And Blaney finished 2nd both times. Logano finished 4th earlier this year, and now he finishes 3rd. And Keselowski, he finished 3rd earlier this year and finishes 4th. But yeah, overall, pretty good day for Ryan Blaney and the 12 team. They're not in the playoffs anymore. They got eliminated in the first round. So hopefully they can take this momentum, of doing good in these last few races, and take that into next year. Instead of getting a win at Talladega, maybe get a win at a mile and a half because they have the speed to do it. They just can't have those mistakes. Finishing in third was Joey Logano. Really, the past 2 weeks, the advantage they've earned was able to focus on, their Phoenix car before everybody. Like, that's the advantage they had. Like they get to go to these races not having their tongues hanging out trying to get in, but, their batteries are charged up and they're ready to go. Like I bet that part's nice for them about winning the first race of the final round and getting into the championship. That must be good for them. Like I think they proved that their pit crew like last night was really good. They had like one of the fastest pit stops all day yesterday, and that kept them all front all day long yesterday. Like I don't think there was one pit stop Logano didn't gain at least one spot throughout it. Like their pit crew is really strong. Like they'll be ready to go when they get out there, this weekend. But I think they've proven their team is definitely the team to beat. Like they're well rounded, and I think that's something that can help them next week. Because Logano did win at Phoenix last year. I mean, not last year, but earlier this year, where he got his second win. And I don't know if he still has that Phoenix car. He probably ran that Phoenix car during the season and probably wrecked it or something. But if he does have the Phoenix car, he could just run that car, and if he doesn't, he could just get a new car, just run the same setup he did if they still have it in their journal or something. But yeah, pretty good day for Joey Logano already in the championship four, and I bet last night's race showed that they have a pretty good pit crew that could get the job done, so they can get their second championship in 3 years, which is better than Kyle Busch. But yeah, overall pretty decent day for Joey Logano. Finishing in fourth was Brad Keselowski. There was nothing he could do other than just pass as many cars as he could and look for. Like, the last two runs, I don't know if they were the best car, but they were close to it. Like, credit to Jeremy Bowens and the team. Like, they just kept adjusting on it at the end, and they got good when it counted. Like, I bet it was frustrating because that pit road penalty, I bet Keselowski did not see that coming. Like to be honest with you, but it's the same thing he'd been doing in the place where he got the penalty was right outside his pit box. So I didn't even think it was possible to speed right there, and Keselowski was wrong. But hey, he make a mistake, can't let that happen at Phoenix next week. Like I think this was. We'll just see because Keselowski, he needs to run the same. Like I think he is like he made the championship four, so he's probably gonna run that same car he had at New Hampshire and Richmond and Martinsville. I don't know if he had the same car, but he's gonna use that car definitely at Phoenix next week, and they could actually contend for a championship. Yeah, like earlier this year they got wrecked in like the first 20 laps or something. I don't know, but we'll see what happens for Brad Keselowski. But yeah, pretty decent day for Brad Keselowski there in the championship four for the first time since 2017, and yeah, they have a shot at winning and get their second championship since 2012. So we'll see what happens. But overall, pretty decent day for Brad Keselowski and the two team. Finishing in fifth was Kurt Busch. They gave it all they had. If I'm Kurt Busch, I'd be proud of your team. Chip Ganassi Racing put up a really good fight this year to get this far, to win and to post top fives through the playoffs. Even though Chip Ganassi, this was like their worst year, even though they only had one win, and then Matt Kenseth totally screwed it up. Not trying to put hate on Matt Kenseth, just saying he totally screwed it up, But, they crossed over their threshold. Like last week, they finished 7th at Texas, 5th last night, and they were walking around kind of kicking the ground like that wasn't their best effort, and they could have done this or could have done that. But, when Kurt Busch started here 2 years ago, he finished in the top 5, and they were celebrating. And they've come that far in this short amount of time, and I bet he's proud of everybody back at the shop, to come here with a shot at it, and they knew they had to win, but it takes a team all the way through. Like the driver has to make a good decision, spotter, pit crew chief, and adjustments, and they just came up a little shy. Like their weakest area was pit road, and they know they needed to work on that. But all in all, I can't I'm kind of proud of Kurt Busch, making it this far, because really I had him out of out of the first round, but I've been very impressed by him. He still doesn't impress me overall, but this year, or just technically through the playoffs, he has impressed me a little bit, but not as much as Austin Dillon. But yeah, he did pretty good, so it's cool to see the evolution of where, they came through in the last year. So overall, pretty decent day for Kurt Busch, even though that they are out of the round of 8, and they will not be making the championship 4. Finishing at 6 was Alex Bowman. I loved in his interview, he said, "I drive this place so wrong." I was like, what? Because that doesn't make any sense, because Bowman this year, he did pretty good at Martinsville. Like at short tracks this year, he's been the weakest Hendrick driver at it, but still, he got a top 10 in both Martinsville races this year, so that's something. I bet he tries to roll the center really fast, and then he's like, oh, we don't have any drive off. Bowman, even though he's been in the Cup Series for more than 5 years, I don't know, he still has a little bit to learn. I bet he could learn some pointers from Jimmy, because Jimmy said on his YouTube channel that if it wasn't for Tony Stewart, he probably wouldn't have 9 wins at Martinsville. Just following Stewart's line, seeing how he does it and stuff. But back to Alex Bowman, you would think Bowman would have figured it out, but I kind of know what he needs to do. All in all, it's a good day for their team. I bet it. I heard in his interview, he was proud of Chase Elliott, making the Final Four there, but it sucks. I'm bummed for Alex Bowman that they weren't a part of it, but I think they have a good, solid shot at getting 5th in points. The progress that team has made over the past 2 months has been incredible. This is something they really deserve. So we'll see what happens for Alex Bowman, because he's basically looking forward to joining the number 48's legacy. So we'll see what happens next year for my new favorite driver in 2021, but still always be a Jimmy Johnson fan at heart. I also watch Jimmy in IndyCar next year, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, congrats to Alex Bowman. He had a good shot at it. It sucks that he didn't make the championship 4 at his home track, but we'll see what happens for next year and starting the 48 legacy, or being a part of it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty decent day for Bowman and the 88 team. Finishing in 7th was Eric Almirola. It was a good run, for Almirola's team at Martinsville. They had a good car on the long run today, and it feels like, and I bet it just feels good to have a decent run with 1 race left on the year, hoping to have another solid run next weekend in Phoenix for them, since they were out of the round of 12, and they're just trying to practice. Basically, practice makes perfect. So let's see what they can do at Phoenix, because that's going to be the championship race next year. So we'll see what happens for them. But overall, pretty decent day for Eric Almirola. I don't know. I have mostly been paying attention on the playoff drivers. I don't know what they've been doing, but yeah, I bet a pretty decent day for Eric Almirola. Finishing in 8th was Clint Bowyer. Early on, they had about a 20-lap car today. You had to pass everyone in the first 20 laps, or you weren't going to pass them, because, before the competition caution to see what you had to work on. But, Bowyer, they worked hard, and, they got it rolling there at the end, and I bet it's always fun to race at Martinsville. This is one of the tracks Bowyer said he's going to miss. This is probably his favorite short track out of all of them. But, yeah, Bowyer had a pretty decent day. Got a top 10 at his final Martinsville race. Unlike my favorite driver, I have no idea what the heck happened. But, next week's Jimmy's last race. Man. Oh, man, that's going to suck. I'm trying not to get upset over that. I'm talking about Clint Bowyer and I'm bringing up Jimmy Johnson. But, yeah, I wonder. We'll see how they'll honor Jimmy Johnson in his final race next week. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, back to Clint Bowyer. Yeah, same thing with Clint Bowyer. I hope him and Jimmy have final ride paint schemes next week. But we'll see what happens. But overall, pretty decent day for Clint Bowyer and the 14 team. Finishing in 9th was Kyle Busch. They had a decent day with their Camry. His pit crew did a nice job on pit road all day, and they gained themselves a lot of spots, but they just couldn't find the right handling, and they would slip back on many of the runs. They just didn't have much on the last run of the race, so they ended up with the 9th place finish. But the top 10 is top 10. But I bet they'll just take that and move on to Phoenix next week. Since like I said with Eric Almirola, that's the last race of the season. So you just go ahead and practice with that, so we'll see what happens. But overall, pretty decent day for Kyle Busch and the 18 team. And then rounding out the top 10 is Matt DiBenedetto in 10th. So finishing in 10th was Matt DiBenedetto. They had a pretty decent day. You know, they had maybe a top 20 car, probably a top 10 car, I don't know, but they were running like around mid-pack all day. They had a pretty decent run today, you know, Matt DiBenedetto, he's been pretty strong on the short tracks lately. Well, not really lately, because he hasn't been doing good at Bristol, but he's been running pretty good at, like, Martinsville this year, so he can probably take that into next year, you know, since he'll be driving the 21 car next year, so he'll probably just take that and maybe go out and get a win, his first career win. We'll see what happens, but yeah, overall, pretty decent day for Matt DiBenedetto. I have no idea what to say about him. He had a good day. Good job for you, buddy. You did well. Now let's rate this race. If I had to rate this Martinsville race, it was pretty good. You know, the third stage was kind of long, but at least it wasn't a long green flag run because they had to pit with what, like 50, maybe 40 laps to go, and then that's when we found out about Martrix Jr. struggling, you know, with that right front tire, and they had to pit, and that basically ended their hopes of making the championship for, you know, Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman. They weren't as fast as Chase Elliott, so that technically ended theirs. And then Kevin Harvick. Whew, man, with that, at the last corner, he got in the Kyle Busch. I was surprised he even touched Kyle Busch, because it didn't even look like he was close, but he got him, took himself out, and Kyle Busch just did a full 180, or actually a full 360, and then just crossed the finish line. That was hilarious, but yeah, I kind of do feel bad for Kevin Harvick, you know, 9 wins this year, and it's basically all for nothing for Kevin Harvick, but hey, I don't care. I'm not a Harvick fan. I'm kind of glad he's not in the championship. He choked. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm making a joke. I don't hate these drivers, but yeah, I do kind of feel bad for Kevin Harvick and the 14. They worked so hard, and even in Denny Hamlin's interview, he did say that he felt bad for Kevin Harvick because, you know, it would have been cool to see those two go up against each other at Phoenix. I was kind of hoping for that, but we'll see what happens with maybe like a Keselowski, Logano, Elliott, yeah, and who's the other playoff driver? Hamlin, yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, back to rating the race. It was a pretty good race, so, you know, it's a typical Martinsville race. I'll give it maybe a 7.5 out of 10, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. It was a pretty decent race. It did have, like, its dry moments where it got kind of a little bit boring, a little bit dry, but hey, it was still a pretty entertaining race. Like, all those drivers not playing nice anymore. They were just giving each other the bumper, moving them out of the way if they were just too slow, or they were just not quick enough and stuff. But yeah, it was a pretty decent race, so I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. And now we have our Championship 4. And then in this Championship 4, only one driver in this Championship 4 was in the previous Championship 4, and that's Denny Hamlin. The last time Brad Keselowski was in the Championship 4 was 2017, and he finished worst out of all of them. This is Chase Elliott's first ever Championship 4 appearance. You know, like I said, first ever to make it since 2016. Let's see what he can do. Denny Hamlin, I think he finished worst out of all the other playoff drivers as well. You know, putting too much tape on the grill last year. Oh man, that sucks for Hamlin. But you know, this is his third Championship 4 appearance, so we'll see what he can do. And then the last time Logano was in the Championship 4 was 2018, and he's the only one out of all these drivers when the last time he was in the Championship 4, he won it. So watch out for Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin and Keselowski and Elliott. They're all going to be pretty good threats in next week's finale. So we'll see what happens there. But overall, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be having my who do I think will win the championship this year. I'll be having that video up on Wednesday, and then I'll be having a little bit of a special video before the championship race. I think I'll have that uploaded on a Friday. You know, it's gonna be something. I'll do that on the computer. I'll let you guys know about that. But yeah, overall, thank you guys for watching. You know, I said please like, comment, subscribe. I told you what I'm gonna be doing. So you know, I'll basically be having 3 more videos to close out the 2020 NASCAR season. I'll still have like a few more one-off episodes or not episodes, but videos to close out 2020 and stuff, since it's November. But yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys Wednesday, and yeah, that is all. Peace out.